It's very dark still. Anyway, this is the Hastings River, Port Macquarie. Port Macquarie, located roughly around 4.5, 5 hours from Sydney, north of Sydney, and about 6 to 7 hours south of Brisbane, nearly halfway. Very popular place. A lot of people walking around this. Just after 6 a.m. on the Wednesday, 15th of May. I hope you just see some dolphins. Port Macquarie was first discovered by the Europeans by Lieutenant John Oxley in 1818, I think, 1820, something like that. It's the home of the Burpie people, the indigenous people of the area. John Oxley was a explorer for the British, born in England, ended up over here as Surveyor General for the New South Wales government and did a bit of exploring. He actually surveyed Western Port Bay down in Victoria, which is just near where I come from, my hometown. He did a bit of exploring and surveying down in Van Diemen's Land and up at the Brisbane area, Tweed River, I believe.
That's the problem. So he's already really so worth it. Like these are people that you haven't seen for like.
It's a beautiful place, Port Macquarie. Highly recommend coming here. Great weather. You won't be able to see them, but there's people out surfing already. Yes, so where was I? John Oxley. John Oxley, yes, discovered for the Europeans in 1818, this area. In 1821, they turned this into a penal colony, where the prisoners who were second-time offenders from wherever were sent up here to do tasks such as clearing the forest. There was a lot of cedar forest up here, so I cleared all those out. And I had to get off that path, the walking path, or it seems to be a running track at this time of the morning, because I've never seen so many people out and about jogging. Jogging's not my forte, so you won't be seeing this old bloke doing that. But anyway, as I was saying, John Oxley came to the Port Macquarie area. He was a Surveyor General for New South Wales for the Governor General at the time, who was Lachlan Macquarie. Lachlan Macquarie's got heaps of things named after him. There's Macquarie Lakes, Macquarie Highway, Port Macquarie. I think poor old John Oxley only got Oxley Highway now named after him, but anyway, there's probably more. So they turned this into a penal colony in 1821, where the convicts from Sydney and other places were sent up here as second offenders, and they were put to work in this area. They had to cut down the cedar. There was a big cedar forest, natural cedar forest in the area. So they cut those down, and also did rock breaking, which is, I just had to look that up before because I've heard it many times. Breaking rocks, you hear prisoners breaking rocks. What for? Well, I looked it up, and they did it for the stone to build houses, and also the smaller stone to create the roads for the areas they were in. Interesting that the prisoners, if they were disabled, such as one-legged prisoners, were tasked with becoming delivery workers. Blind people, blind prisoners, were made to work at night because obviously it didn't make much difference to them, and they were better at the tasks for some reason. Just because they did it all by feel, I don't know. Anyway, the Europeans have got a terrible history here, as with everywhere else in Australia. So the local Indigenous people killed one of the cedar cutters in the area, and the Governor General sent out the troops in retaliation and murdered a tribe of the Burpai people, or a lot of them. After that, they gathered up the women, they raped them, then they killed them. They murdered them as well. Not very nice people, these colonists, I'll tell you right now. Port Macquarie, a couple of industries up here. Fruit and nut. In the larger Port Macquarie area, fruit and nuts is a big industry. Accounts for about nearly 20% of the fruit and nut industry of New South Wales. Beef agriculture is another large one. I think there's about 15% of the beef industry is located here in Port Macquarie. much bigger boat going out there. I'm guessing that's a fishing charter. There is very good fishing here. I've got some video that I shot yesterday of them catching fish in the actual Hastings River. These guys will be going out offshore. Offshore you can get marlin, shark, large snapper, Spanish mackerel, many other. There's heaps of fish here, lots and lots. It's a fair industry in itself. A lot of recreational fishermen travel from quite a fair way away to come here to fish because the fishing is so good. Anyway, enough fishing. This is Town Beach, very popular beach. There's people swimming, there's people surfing. There is sharks in the area. There was a shark attack here, I think about 18 months ago I heard about it. Luckily it wasn't a fatal shark attack. Any shark attack isn't good. Population of about 50,000 people here. Port Macquarie really took off in the 1970s. In 1971, I think, yes, 1971, the population of 9,000 people. By 1981, there was 19,000 people. And it's just grown and grown since then. Still growing today. They're building new suburbs all the time. Don't think I can get up there. No, I'll have to find a different way. This looks okay. Probably shouldn't be doing this with thongs on. Anyway, not far to go. Or flip-flops, as some people call them. I call them thongs. Nope, can't get up there. Back down we go. We'll walk over to the other beach. It might be a bit quieter over there. Although there's no one right here, but I want to get up there. There's just so many people walking around. I'm a little bit shy videoing in front of other people. In regards to the Burpi people, the Indigenous, Governor Macquarie, after one settler was killed, he issued a decree that any Aboriginal person who was caught with anything resembling a weapon, so resembling a weapon, could be a stick, rock, was to be punished by death. A little bit harsh. I wonder how that went down with the Burpi. Probably not very well. So the colonists really for horrible people. I don't blame anyone in Australia who is Indigenous for not liking the governments who have tried to control them. Because what do they get? Punitive punishment. Capital punishment. For what? Setting the Europeans came to invade their land? Not good. Controversial subject in Australia, the invasion. I have Australia Day, a controversial date, January 26th, where a lot of people, both European and Indigenous, refer to it as Invasion Day. I guess that's quite rightly so, because that's in effect what they've done. They just took over their lands. The British have been doing it for hundreds of years. It's been their blood. If you're a visitor to Australia, see one of those signs. If you don't see one of those signs, take heed. If you come across a snake, don't go anywhere near it. Some, sure, non-venomous. Others, well, if you got bitten by one of those and you actually made it to the hospital, if they had the anti-venom, which they would have, then you might be okay. But really, you're in a lot of trouble. Port Macquarie never really made it as a shipping port, probably for good reason. Out here, out there, are reefs, hidden reefs, some that you can see, but it's low tide at the moment, so at high tide, I guess you wouldn't see those. So no, back in the early days it never made it as an actual shipping port for large vessels. Small vessels, yeah, but the big ones, no. They didn't do a lot of trade here. Stairs. Oh God. This is Flagstaff Hill. Now, that plaque tells you that our good mate John Oxley had his campsite in 1818, just over there, probably near that pine tree. I did mention that this was a dangerous place, the waters out off Hastings River. Here's a whole bunch of the ships that have been wrecked. It's a little bit dark to read them all, but I can tell you there's between 1877 and 1943 there was 16 ships wrecked just off this point. And over here, even more disturbing, this memorial is a dedication Ooh. All the surf riders, the surfers who've lost their lives in this place, and there's a lot. '99. Wow. Rest in peace, guys. Girls. This is Port Macquarie nowadays. All high rise, all holiday apartments, more going up all the time.